Today on Feathers Off-Road, we are climbing the Lake Mountains, just west of Utah Lake. The peak in that range is Eagle Mountain. There's a lot of TV and radio towers up there. This is kind of one of those trails I've just known about for a long time but never taken the time to ride. And we begin in a neighborhood, but that quickly turns to dirt. Must be a pretty quick climb. It's just those radio towers right up there. But let's see. Try to do this by feel. Just want some squish. Alright. We'll have to check the pressure at the end and see what we really got them down to. This trail can be taken from either direction. The most common is likely the north to the south, like we're doing today. It was a trail really that any 4x4 could drive up. I think we passed a truck on the ride. You could probably get like a Honda Civic up here if you were daring enough, but there were some rutted out sections, but generally any 4x4 would probably be able to just drive right up this. The terrain was pretty loose as well, so if you stopped, it was really hard to get moving again with the angle of the climb. I did record a GPS track for this ride, and if you look at the elevation, you can see it was just this constant, never-ending ascent. I ran some of the numbers. It was roughly a 7.5 degree angle for 4 straight miles until we got to the top. But there were some sections that were really steep for just a short time, and you'll see in just a minute where we were struggling to keep our momentum going. A little bit of cloud cover is nice. There's two things that you can do to help make terrain like this more enjoyable. The first is to grab your bike as much with your knees and shins as you can. I'll talk more about that in a second. The second thing you can do is lower your torso and kick your hips back as far as you can. You're really trying to push all your weight to the back of the bike. Push the rear tire into the ground. It's a really tiring position, but sometimes that's the only way to move forward if the terrain is super loose. So I want to pause here for a second and look at this trail way up in the front. You can see this is one of those localized steep sections that we're going to get stuck in. You still feel like you're sliding. It's probably air pressure. This was a really long, sustained uphill, and I was trying to tell my buddy to grab the tank with his legs as much as possible, because this is really where you'll tire out your upper body by hanging on. And right here, hold on with your legs for sure. Like the goal is that you're like, your hands are almost doing nothing. Grabbing with your knees and shins. And not hanging on for your life. Yeah. And this is where we started running into problems. Crash? Okay. You want me to come back? Oh, I can see you. Okay. You all right? Yeah. Then I made a YouTube short right as he dropped the bike again. Oh, not again. I did work my way back down to go help him, and in the process dropped my own bike. Just really steep. It's like dirt on that right hand side, but it's pretty bouldery in the middle if you cross over. So just if you're gonna cross over, it's that one little spot 20 yards in front of you if you're going to cross to my side. Otherwise, I would just say stay on the right. Or, I mean, if you can cross, the place to do it's just up in front of you. Lots of revs. Yeah, it's all right. Oh. All right, you're good.
Just let it die. What am I doing?
Yeah. Let it die, and being in gear is like an engine brake.
Stopped at the worst spot.
We eventually got both bikes pointed the right direction, got our momentum again, and got up to the top. The top of this range, there's not really a great overlook in any specific spot, so we actually ran into a number of other cars. This guy out here in his truck, I think, was target shooting. We ran into some side-by-sides across the top, but we were trying to find a good place for a picture or just a nice viewpoint. I might have looked. I was looking over at the overlook. Let's see. My trail says down and to the left. I'm sure we can go up to the right. I think I'd rather go up than down. Top of Lake Mountain, Eagle Mountain. You can see a lot of the dirt bike riding I do in the high mountains over there, but we got the big bikes out today. Had a little trouble going uphill, but we're here. We got to the top. We made it. The south side was definitely the easier path. Most likely the main road used to reach the radio and the TV towers wasn't really rutted at all, basically just a graded dirt road. All in all, I would say this is a pretty fun trail to explore, but it was hot. It was 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius. Just too hot to be out dropping bikes a bunch. But let's look at how close I got eyeballing the air pressure on my tires. I've been trying to do this by feel to get down to around that 20 psi level. All right, front tire's pretty low, maybe 12. A little lower than I wanted. And checking the rear, looks like about 16. So trying to learn, like I said, how to do this by eyeballing it. A little bit of flex is what I'm looking for, but yeah, I was trying to get around 20, so that's pretty good, but time to air up and be done. There was actually a huge fire up here just a few weeks after we did this ride, and it's changed a lot, burned a couple 100 acres. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, enjoy the ride.